boys and girls. Hey, today we're learning about trains, and I'm just catching up on the Pullman train schedule to make sure my trains all stay intact. But we have a unique situation for you. Once in a lifetime, we have a collection from the Dan Maddox estate. And the Maddox estate was actually from Tucker, Georgia, and he collected railroad memorabilia for 45 years. We've got some rare and unique things that I've never seen before. So we're going to give you a little tour and show you around, and I hope you enjoy it. This auction is scheduled to take place this upcoming Saturday, which is just in a few days, and it'll take place on November 10th, 2018. We start at 9 o'clock in the morning. And also, if you are a hobby collector with O-gauge and S-gauge engines, we've got a large collection of those also. So, are you ready, boys and girls? Sit back, and I hope you enjoy the train ride, and come follow me. Right this way. One of our first items that's unknown to me is this is actually, I thought it was a baseball bat. No. Not a billy club for getting hobos off the train. No. It's actually called a brakeman shaft. And what it is the old caboose wheels, it just provided extra leverage. They would put it in, and it provided them leverage to stop a train or to turn the brake wheel. This is actually marked New York Central. So this is actually come off the New York Central lines in New York. Right this way. One of our other unique items is right here. This is the actually old southbound and northbound schedule, and they would actually take chalk and write on it. This is original. This is probably 1940s, 1930s. All in that window right there, made out of wood. Very, very nice piece. Be anxious to see what that sells for, so just keep watching at the website. These right here are some railroad lanterns, and these are really unique. Now, we found out about these. These are actually, we did not know that they were actually supposed to be sold as a set. And what this is this went on each side of the caboose and on the back side, and this would signal to the engine where the end of the train was, because you couldn't see it, it was so far along, and there was different colors. So if it was red, means you're not there, keep going, slow down. So they would be able to see where the end of the caboose was and actually able to signal the conductor of where they were at in the system of the train. Now, of course, you gotta remember, this is pre-cell phone, so you can't just call them and say, okay, we're clear, or radios, or any of that stuff. So, nice little caboose signal lanterns. One of my favorite items is right here. Large 3-horn steam whistle, 16 inches long, 6-inch whistle. This is gonna be one of the highlights of the auction. I love to have a compressor big enough. We checked with a couple of people, and they said it's about 200 to 250 pounds PSI in order to get this thing to blow. But I've tried to plug it up, some of the smaller ones, to my units. It just didn't happen. So maybe we'll get to try on that. Another one of my favorite items is right over here. This is the L&N ticket booth, and if you got on the L&N Railroad, they would actually open it up, give you your ticket, put all your tickets. Here's your L&N ticket railroad stub, and you're ready to go. So really neat. It's got a lot of transportation items and stuff like that in it. So you're all ready to go. I'm going to take you over now to our O-gauge and S-gauge. So let's take a little tour. All right, and here we go. The standard O-gauge and S-gauge tracks. All aboard. Stop right there. Stop right there. And what we've got about 350 to 400 lots of O-gauge and S-gauge tracks. O-gauge and S-gauge tracks. And we have tested all the engines and a lot of the mechanical cars. We've tested all of them, so to see if they're working or not. Now, one of the unique items is a lot of Lionel are O-gauge, a lot of American Flyer are S-gauge. But there is one gauge right over here. It's a really rare, and this is called a standard gauge. And these are early Lionel, large, wide tracks. We don't even have tracks big enough or a transformer even to test these things or to pull them. But very rare. A lot of these are anywhere from $100 to $300 a piece. But here's about a dozen of these. There's a lot of unique little engines here. And this is a Lionel called the Minuteman. It would pull up to a stop, the top would open, the rocket would come up, and it's spring loaded, and the rocket would fire. So it's kind of really neat. You can actually just set it up in there and push that thing back, when it comes up, boom, there it goes, just like that. So anyway, really neat. But there's a lot of little small mechanical devices here. This is another neat one. The same thing, except for it's got a whirligig helicopter. You wind the helicopter up, when it pulls in, and the helicopter takes off. Some more unique ones. This is the circus wagon, the Bronx Zoo. All the little, everything kind of comes down. He goes up and down with the track. So neat little bobbling system. So boing, boing. Anyway, a lot of unique trains. One of the rarest items we have going through this auction is the engine light to unit 451, the Big Apple, which is the 1953-52 steam engine from the Georgia Central Railroad. And this right here, we have all the history behind it. This right here is a unique picture of the actual engine itself, which we'll show you. And it's really unusual. The history behind it is they made about 5 steam engines, units 451 to about 456. And the earlier ones were all scrapped, but 451 was targeted for a museum, and it got put down as Georgia Central Rail Yard, and then the pieces were taken off of it, and then never got to go to the museum. It's kind of an unknown history and unknown items about the Georgia Central Railroad and engine 451. There's a lot of unknown about it, but we believe this is the correct light. It was in his collection, and we expect this to sell somewhere between the $2,000 to $5,000 range. All the history on it's right there, and it all comes with it. But this is one of the highlights for any museum or any collector who likes trains. As with any good railroad collection, you always got to have dinnerware. Now, each individual train had their own dinnerware. It's all signed on the back. Syracuse China made a lot of them, a lot of different patterns. And do not know the pattern. It's actually in the catalog of what this is made for, but they were made specifically for each individual railroad. And some of them are very, very expensive. If you want to look up something weird, just go to eBay and type in train dinnerware and sort by highest price item. You'll find some plates well over $1,000. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, really neat. He had a great collection of railroad dinnerware. And they are dining cars and silver plate flatware. And here's like one from Western Pacific. So a nice little soup bowl and a rice bowl from Western Pacific. So a lot of them are marked. They had their logos on them. Just really neat collection. A lot of flatware. The same thing, different flatwares. L&N Railroad, L&N, a lot of Pacific, Southern Pacific, North Crest lines. A lot of locks, a lot of caboose whistles. So if you can't make it, you're going to miss something. But we're glad you got to see it, and we're going to show you around and then show you a few more items, and we hope you can see it. And make sure you come by Auction78 to check us out. Hey guys, our last item is the old steam belts. These were not made specific for specific trains, but they are awesome. So I want to just let you hear it ring so you can